What's up and welcome back to the Gridiron with Chance Aspen. Make sure you subscribe down below, like this video, comment. Now, enjoy this video. Alright, welcome back to week 13 of my 5 NFL thoughts. If you don't know by now, I give you 5 NFL thoughts every single week, and this is week 13. Let's get into it. Thought number 1. The Green Bay Packers are the team to look out for in the NFC. They really are. They're playing some fantastic football, beating some really good teams, and doing it dominantly. Like, the Packers have always had a really good roster. We knew that coming into the year, that their roster was really good. They had a good young football team. The problem is they're really young. They don't have a lot of experience. But we knew that they were very, very talented. The problem that occurred early in the year was the guy that they paid all that money to at the quarterback position was not playing like the guy that they paid all that money to at the quarterback position. Jordan Love was not playing like how Jordan Love needs to play for this team to become Super Bowl caliber. And now he is. They've won 3 straight, and Jordan Love has not turned the football over or thrown a pick in all 3 of these games. And that's really been the difference, and that's what's made them more scary. And giving you more confidence, like, oh, this team can actually make a Super Bowl run. This team can actually go win playoff games against Detroit, against the Eagles. You do have some sort of faith. Now, you won't favor them over those teams, but if Jordan Love is going to keep playing like this, with the rest of the roster and how good the rest of the roster is, I mean, as good of a coach as Matt LaFleur is, I do see this team, if they stay playing like this, they can make a run. I wouldn't bet on it, but I do think they are the team to look out for in the NFC. I think they have the most potential to beat either Detroit or Philadelphia. Thought number 2. The Chicago Bears made the right decision firing Matt Eberflus. Like, what were they going to do? Hold on to Matt Eberflus till the end of the year and then fire him? Like, no, get rid of him. One, he made one of the worst debacles I think I've ever seen a coach make. They throw the ball inbounds, clock's running, they still have a timeout, and he just lets the clock wind and wind and wind and wind. Caleb gets one more throw down the field, incomplete, game over. When they could have just used their timeout and saved 20 seconds and kept the game alive. And then he said, oh, we made the right decision after the game. Like, you knew right there that was it for him. More than likely, he was going to be gone. And thank God, because I've been saying this for a while, Caleb Williams needs an offensive coach. That's what he needs. He's just that type of quarterback. Not every quarterback needs an offensive coach. Except I think Caleb Williams is one of those guys that needs one. One, he's a young player. So you want him to kind of buy in. He didn't seem all the way bought in from really like the start, in my opinion, with this Chicago Bears franchise. And now you want to get him re-bought in. With a new coach, somebody who's young, who has a great offensive system, a great scheme, great energy about them. The Bears need to make the right decision and the right hire this time around. Because if they don't make it this time, they're not going anywhere. This might be one of the biggest hires they will make in their franchise's history. They have to get this coaching hire right. They have to. Thought number 3. Anthony Richardson has looked so much better since being benched. Now, I will say this. The stats aren't going to blow you away. He hasn't dominated statistically. He hasn't been even a top 5 quarterback on the planet. I'm not saying any of that. But he's been consistent, and he's given his team a chance to win each and every game. And that's important. That's what the job of a quarterback is. It doesn't really matter what numbers you put up. If you can consistently give your team an opportunity to win football games, you are going to last a long time in this league. The problem with him was he wasn't doing that. He was turning the football over way too much. He was getting reckless with the ball. He tapped himself out of one of those games against Houston, which didn't help, and I think lost the trust of not only coaching staff, but the locker room. So he had to regain that trust back from the players and the coaches, which it seems like he has. And now they've won 2 of 3. He looks a lot better. Now, I said this already. Statistically, he's not going to wow you. His numbers have not been fantastic. But he just looks so much more comfortable. He looks like the guy that was drafted as high as he was a couple of years ago. And that's what you want to see. Being benched, being able to handle that adversity from a young quarterback who has not played a lot of football, I think is super important. So credit to Anthony Richardson, credit to Shane Steichen for still going back to him and still having the confidence in him. And I think still the future is bright for Anthony Richardson because I think he's got all the tools in the world. Thought number 4. Jayden Daniels finally looked like the quarterback we saw at the beginning of the year. I know at the beginning of the year, everybody fell in love with Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels was the guy. He was the talk of the football world. He blasted on the scene. He went to Cincinnati and played one of the best games the quarterbacks played all year long. But ever since that high moment, he's played okay, but I wouldn't say he's played great at all. Like, he has really struggled, and he has shown kind of a rookie wall. He has hit that rookie wall, and he finally came out of it now against Tennessee. We all know Tennessee's not a very good football team, but I was happy to see that type of performance again from him because it almost seems like we've lost him a little bit. We're talking about Bo Nix, and obviously Caleb Williams is the number 1 overall pick, so Jayden Daniels, he burst on the scene, and then everybody kind of forgot about him because their team started losing a couple games. But this win shows you why people were talking about him so highly. He struggled early. He struggled after those first few games. He come back, and he finally looked like the guy that bursted onto the scene to start this year. And it was great to see because he is a hell of a football player. And this Commanders team, look, this Commanders team isn't even talented yet. Like, they don't even have a lot of talent around Jayden Daniels yet. Wait till they get that talent around him. Wait till they get better playmakers around him. Yes, they have Terry McLaurin, but other than Terry McLaurin, who else do they have that really scares you on offense? Nobody, except for Jayden Daniels. Get him another weapon. Get him a big-time tight end and see what he does. But I just thought it was great to see that he had success to start the year, hit kind of a wall. I don't think he played bad or awful, but he hit kind of a rookie wall. And then he came back this last game, yes, against Tennessee, and he showed, okay, he came through that wall. Now he's back to being the Jayden Daniels that we saw at the beginning of the year that was dominant and playing dominant football. My 5th and final thought here in Week 13, here it is. Saquon Barkley is the most valuable player in the NFL this year. It's time to give it to somebody else other than a quarterback. It just is. It's time. We are so... Everybody thinks that we just have to give it to the quarterback. And not just have to give it to the quarterback, we have to give it to the guy that has the best record. Like Lamar won it last year, but if you look at his numbers, he was not MVP caliber. He was not that type of player last year. He just was on the best team and had the best record and had okay numbers. So everybody just gave him the MVP. But he probably wasn't the MVP. Now this year, everybody's saying Josh Allen. He's the runaway MVP favorite. But his numbers aren't eye-popping. He's not doing anything elite of the elite, something we've never seen before. But Saquon Barkley, I've watched him take over game after game after game after game and is really the focal point of that Philadelphia Eagles offense. Jalen Hurts, great player. A.J. Brown, great player. But this offense is not where it's at without Saquon Barkley. He is the MVP of football. Let's stop just giving it to a quarterback because it's the hardest position to play. Let's start giving it to the best player in the NFL. And this year, the best player in the NFL is Saquon Barkley. And let's give it to him because he's earned it. And I want the MVP to become the best player in the game that year, not the best quarterback in the game that year. Let's make a different award for that. And let's start giving the MVP more often to guys that actually deserve it for being the best player. Let's give it to a defensive guy if he's playing at that high a level. Let's give it to a running back like Saquon Barkley when he's playing at that high a level. Saquon Barkley is the league MVP right now, and he deserves to win it. I know I don't get why people are saying Josh Allen is the runaway favorite. Because he beat San Francisco in the snow on his home turf? Come on. Right now it's Barkley, and he deserves it. But that's my NFL thoughts. Again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment, and have an awesome day.